So before we do start, I do need to address that if my mic quality looks a little bit weird, it's because I had to change desks and now my microphone is in a completely different space because my previous base unfortunately broke and now my microphone has to be in a completely different spot. As well as I'm using Audacity, which is not the software I use nowadays for recording my voice, so we're going back to the classics. Anyway, hey guys, welcome to another Grand Chase video, and today I want to make a small little guide about farming hero bullions. Now, farming for these ended up becoming a lot easier for everybody, and since quite a bit changed, I think it's important for us to make an update video about grinding for these coins. So if you enjoyed this video already and you would like to see more Grand Chase in the future, you're more than welcome to leave a like, comment, subscribe, because we do Grand Chase content here at least once a week. And also, if you have a suggestion about future guys that you would like to see in the future, you're more than welcome to leave in the comments down below as well. Alright, so at first glance with hero bullions, there's a couple of ways that you could farm them in the game, such as the other world levels like Siege of Torokal or Temple of Time, or even Gorgo's Queen Nest, which as of the latest update, they are now giving hero bullions. But unfortunately, for most of these levels, you're guaranteed to get at least about 1 or 2 coins, maybe 3 if I'm forgetting one that actually gives one as well, which can be a small quantity if you don't have many characters to play this level with. A somewhat viable way you can get a few of these coins is through the Hero Bullions fragments. This is an item you can get through daily and weekly missions, and they're usually pretty simple stuff like Clear the Crucible, Sanctum Destruction, Barricas, Wizard Labyrinths, and so on. Whenever you collect 10 of these fragments, you are able to trade them for 1 hero bullion. This process can be a little bit viable if you have a few fragments stored and you don't know what to do with them, especially if you play with a lot of characters and then you put all of them into the warehouse. Although it's not quite a way to farm hero bullions. It is a way to get a few extra coins, but if anything, this is kind of an extra way to get these hero bullions, like a little bit of extra after the hard work you've been doing. Speaking of extra, another extra way you can get hero bullions is through the Kazage's map treasure. This is an item you can get by simply playing the game and almost any level in the game, from Vermesha to Archimedia. I have been noticing that some hero dungeons have also been giving these, but not 100% sure if it's like 100% guaranteed. But collecting 4 pieces of this map will give you 3 hero bullions as a reward. I want to say for free, but it's not that much for free. Like the fragments, it's not 100% viable because the drop rate for these pieces of the map can be a little bit low. So even though it is a fun way, it shouldn't be seen as like your main source for hero bullions. Well, it should be seen something more extra, like the fragments that I talked before. So what exactly is the best way to farm for hero bullions if these methods are not good enough? Before the update that we got recently, the best way we could get them was through the Angry Boss event dungeon, or Eclipse for the Brazilian players. Got your back, boys. For those that might be unfamiliar with it, Angry Boss is an event where we fight every boss in the game starting from Shenya. Now that I think about it, then it's not every boss, it's just bosses starting from Shenya. And once we defeat Thanatos, we can decide between 2 different paths, one being the Archimedia route, and the other one is the Alcubra route. If you take the Alcubra routes, it gives you a slightly easier challenge with few bosses, but because of it, it will reward you with only 32 hero bullions when cleared. However, if you do take the Archimedes route, it's a little bit challenging, but it compensates by giving you 37 hero bullions by just beating the whole route. And regardless of whatever route you take in this level, both of them are very good viable ways to obtain hero bullions. And at the time, it was the only viable way to get them quickly in the game, which is kind of ironic considering what I'm going to say next. Unfortunately though, Angry Boss has a few issues that can make farming a bit annoying for almost everybody. If you're going to compare it to some of the other events that is in the game, Angry Boss is the hardest one in the list, as well as the longest one too. Like even with my 1 million attack power Alice's, it can take me about 2 to 5 minutes to clear the level on my own. Soloing Angry Boss below 50k total attack can be draining, since you can expect at the very least like 10-30 minutes of gameplay depending on the situation. And even if you are strong enough, you do need to be on your toes because the bosses themselves hit you like a goddamn truck. Archimedia bosses are just straight up murder you with a single touch. Void can do that. And unfortunately for Angry Boss, this isn't an event you can play at any moment that you like, since number 1, it only opens on a Wednesday and the weekends, and number 2, you do need the tickets to participate in them, which nowadays this isn't really a problem if you stack these tickets, which I can say for myself personally. If you have someone willing to play with you or just straight up carry you, which can be common since this is one of the few events that have value at any moment in the game, it shouldn't be much of a problem. But in order to you to solo it on your own, it can definitely be a little bit either annoying or tricky. My personal recommendation is 500k or above for a more easier experience, and specifically if you don't really care about getting more coins or not, just go for the Alcubra side of it. It's a little bit more chill than Archimedia. Although if you are patient and you know what you're doing in that Angry Boss, I think 400k nowadays can kind of do the trick. Especially if you have stuff like the Awakening skill or a character like Uno, Mari, or Ryan. It shouldn't be that much of a problem. Oh, but Fal, I can't do that. Angry Boss is quite tough. Well, lucky for you, I hear Scream. Mentally, probably. Because with the new quality of life update, we did receive a new way to get hero bullions, and in my opinion, it's also just as good. With the update of May 28th, a lot of the tiresome grind was changed as well as enhanced. Now levels like the Crucible, Sanctum of Destruction, and Wizard's Labyrinth can be played up to 5 times max with each character, and the rewards were also changed to reflect that change. See, here's the thing, before the update, Crucible and Sanctum only gave 2 hero bullions for the run, whereas Wizard's Labyrinth gave a certain amount depending on what floor you were playing. Playing through floors 1 to 10 would give you 3 coins, floors 11 to 20 would give you 6, and then 21 to 30 would give you 9 coins. You got that? Good. Now throw it out the window, because after this update, Crucible and Sanctum are now give you 6 coins per attempt, meaning you can get 60 coins by just doing the Crucible and Sanctum of Destruction with just one character. But what about Wizard's Labyrinth? Well, that also got buffed immensely. Now if you play through floors 1 to 20, you get 9 coins, while floors 21 to 30 now give you 13. So if you play through floors 21 and 30 5 times with just one character, you can get 65 hero bullions. Meaning by just playing these 3 levels, you can get 125 hero bullions, which is better than the 34 and 37 you can get from Angry Boss. But very much like Angry Boss, it does have a few small little issues. Depending on what your level is, this process is slower than Angry Boss. Doing all these 3 levels with my 1 mil analysis took me about 15 to 17 minutes to complete. Though I think this time could have obviously been enhanced if it wasn't for this one serpent boss from the Crucible. Stop sleeping on the job, I need you dead so I can then kill you again 4 more times. And if you think you can get these rewards daily like before, you should know that these 5 attempts are now weekly, and they tend to restart now on Wednesday, the same day that Angry Boss opens. And if you want me to involve a little bit of math, if we do the Archimedia route from Angry Boss for, let's say, 15 to 17 minutes, since that's about the same time it took me, you're seeing about 185 to 296 coins, depending on how many attempts you can do in that amount of time. At least that's the math I got. I mean, I sure hope it's right, because damn, that's a lot of coins. So overall, despite the 2 methods of getting hero bullions being really good, I think Angry Boss is still the best place to farm, especially for hero bullions. And not only just hero bullions, but in Angry Boss you can get some also good valuable items to help you with reinforcement stones, as well as dual swords for the Cordy players maybe. Now I suppose if you do run out of tickets events, which if you do, please contact me, I need help, or you just maybe struggle with the level altogether, doing the hero dungeons is not a bad alternative. Considering how if you really need to, you can also farm chaser levels as well by farming on levels 15 and 24, which is also a great extra on your grind if you have multiple characters to play with. That and also materials to get either Burka set for the characters or character Cordy set for your collection, which does have value and it's now much easier to farm for too. But for hero bullies in particular, I would say Angry Boss still takes a cake. And for that note, I'll leave the video here. Like I mentioned before, if you enjoyed this sort of video and like to see more videos like this in the future, you're more than welcome to leave a like, comment, subscribe, because we do grand chase content here on a weekly basis. And if you by any chance know any other ways to farm for hero bullions, or maybe you disagree with my take, you're always more than welcome to leave your thoughts in the comments down below. I also appreciate hearing you guys' thoughts, because it not only helps me grow as a player, but also helps others grow into being better players. But then again, you don't need to say anything. I completely understand, even though it makes me sad. So yeah, on that note, I think I'll leave the video here. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you guys have a great day today. Stay awesome, stay safe, have a great farm section today. We'll see each other next time. Peace.